I think today we will fill in the blank. So
Oh.
yesterday, Real Madrid's second half performance was pulsating, to say the least. Let's say was Madrid's 45 minutes in the second half yesterday was the best performance since.
Wow. Are we limiting this to soccer, to football, or is just like anything? Because, it could be it
Come
could be
on,
anything.
don't pretend like 45 minutes is going on around that.
All right, whoa. Nobody said anything. You have to check with other people. I can't vouch. You wouldn't believe me. You would need a verification from another party for that. For that. No, the best 45-minute performance. I mean, what came to mind for me was the second half of the 2005 Champions League, where Liverpool comes back against Milan and goes on to win. Now, they didn't win that game in regulation, right? They needed penalty kicks to win that match.
They sure
You
did.
can talk about our producer Jenny brought up Robert Lewandowski scoring 5 in a second half against Wolfsburg when he was at Bayern Munich.
That was pretty wild.
I will take whatever suggestions people want to throw at us in the comments. Please do. I don't know. I mean, that was so intense a performance in that second half where there was a moment, I think, when it was 2-2 where Borussia Dortmund had half a chance. I can't remember who the chance fell to, but they had half a chance. Courtois makes a very good save, and then 30 seconds later or something like that, Madrid goes down to take the lead. And I think when they scored those 2 goals in rapid succession to get themselves back level, there was no doubting. Like the whole world knew that Madrid was going to go crazy and win the game. Now, whether they won the game 3-2 or, as they did, 5-2, maybe that was a question. I'm not sure I saw 5. But, of course, once the dam broke, once Dortmund lost the lead, they were cooked. And if you want to talk about it from an analytical perspective, if you want to talk about the decision that Nuri Sahin made, Jamie Gittin scores a very good goal. I think he's the youngest goal scorer.
There was 7 great goals in this game.
Yeah, I think Gittins was the youngest goal scorer in Dortmund history in the Champions League, which is saying something considering Dortmund's history in the Champions League. I think I have that right. Somebody fact check me. But then he pulls off Gittins, and he throws on Emre Can at one point, which maybe there's something we're missing. Emre Can was playing right back? Was he playing right back? And there's a moment when the ball turns over, and Vinicius Jr. ends up on the ball, and Emre Can is trying to run him down. And we're all like, yeah, that's not happening. But Emre Can not only doesn't track down Vinicius Jr. because, of course, but he kind of gives up on the play. And he ends up staying at the top of the box as there is a moment when things could have been stopped, when Dortmund could have made a defensive stand, or at least made it easier so that you don't get the kind of shot that Vinicius Jr. gets off to score that goal. So, it's about Madrid. It's about the impossible job of stopping a rampant Real Madrid, but it's also about what Dortmund did and did not do.
Yeah, they were definitely participants in that, and it's hard to think that game was actually 2-0
bystanders.
In favor of Dortmund.
That's what you're saying. Yeah. Borussia Dortmund became bystanders in the Real Madrid show, and that's a pretty damning indictment of that team, who right now is in 7th in the Bundesliga. I should mention.
Yeah, they should. They need to tighten up a little bit. But as far as Madrid, I mean, they're just absolutely stacked in that second half. Modric. Pulling the strings. He, had the hockey assist, the MLS assist for the first goal. I was kind of blown away. Mbappe, unselfish Mbappe, getting 2 assists there to get that comeback sparked.
I mean, working Rudiger, really hard to find the space to get off the cross that Rudiger put away for the first one. I mean, that was the most important goal of the day for Madrid. I mean, we're going to celebrate Vinny Jr., we're going to talk about how he had already won it. The votes are already in. But that was like the announcement of a Ballon d'Or winner, right? That was him saying, hey, it's me. Don't even look anywhere else. It's me. Rodri getting hurt is poor timing, but I don't think, and as much as people want to acknowledge what Rodri did and has done for Manchester City and for Spain, Vinicius Jr. deserves the Ballon d'Or. And last night was that that display of why he deserves the Ballon d'Or. But Mbappe had his moments, right? He isn't the best player on that team, which is saying a lot, but he had his moments, right? Oh, again, you need a Rudiger to be just a monster and go after that ball. It's bad marking. I think it was Sabitzer who was standing on the goal line trying to make sure that they didn't give up a goal there. And he ends up pointing. I want to say it was Sula. Sula had a terrible day too, like just absolutely atrocious day, just falling over the place. No marking on Rudiger. So lots of things happen in that game. It's a little bit. It's a lot from column A, which is Real Madrid is unstoppable, and a little bit from column B, which is Dortmund rolled over.
Yeah, a little bit of bystanders, some yellow cones at times there, especially in those last few minutes.
They were cones.
And I was going to say, is Rudiger one of the most entertaining center backs? Like he's got obviously a lot of skill, but he's definitely got like a chaos energy factor.
Oh, 100%. I think most people probably love or hate Antonio Rudiger. I'm pretty much in the love category. I mean, he's a classic. He's a classic physical, kind of get in your face, throw you around center back, but he can also, pop up with a moment of skill as you described. And clearly he's a monster in the air. And if you give him an opportunity to go get something like that, there's no question he's going to be the first one to the ball if he can get there.
And I just remembered, speaking of yellow cones, on one of the Madrid goals, when I think it was who scored the goal that was neither Rudiger or
was it? Yeah, Lucas Vazquez, maybe?
Yeah,
is that who that
Vazquez,
was?
when he comes in down the right, a Dortmund player does like a slide tackle like 5 feet away from him. I think he was trying to prevent like a cutback. But if you watch it on replay, it's like, where's he sliding to?
Yeah.
I
think we have some fan shot video. I don't know how to give a proper credit for this, but I think we have some fan shot video from the stands of, I think this is Vinny's third. Is it the third he took off the jersey? Was that the third, Robert? Because it all kind of blurs together. He scored.
It was many goals.
Many goals. All right, let's watch this together. Let's just yeah. So here he cuts in. I mean, again, cones, like you said. That's a great shot. It is a great shot. It's impossible to save. To the far post. Gives us the I'm the man kind of vibes there with the shirt off.
Yeah,
they went nuts.
Yeah, watching that yesterday, with every single goal, those reactions got bigger and bigger. And I'm actually getting kind of tingly goosebumps, just the energy and the explosion of noise. Once they got that third, and the Bernabeu absolutely knew that they were going to win at that point. I don't think there was any question. Once they got the third, it was game.
I'm not even sure the Bernabeu was concerned down 2-0. Like, I'm really not even sure that they were like...
If you've seen the magic that they produce every single year in this competition, there would be no reason to get nervous.
Yeah, I mean, they gave up the 2 goals within 4 minutes. And those were good goals. I mean, again, you mentioned there were 7 good goals. Daniel Malin's goal was very good. And then getting scores 4 minutes later. And, if it wasn't the 34th minute, you might go, oh, Real Madrid might be in trouble here. Like, if it's the 65th minute and they're down 2-0, or if it's the 75th minute and they're down 2-0, then you worry. You still believe they have a chance to come back because they are Madrid. But with that much time, it was like, well, you're not keeping this team down for the next hour. That's not happening. So, in this case... It took until the 60th minute on the header from Rudiger, on the work from Kylian Mbappe, then Vinicius, then Vazquez, which I have to go back and watch and see how good that goal was, because I'm wondering if there maybe was a defensive lapse there as well, because they don't...
The random slide tackle guy, I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, but also Kobel. I don't think Kobel covered himself in glory on that shot either. But Vazquez scores, and then again, after that, once it's 2-2, you're kind of just like, okay, what is it going to end up being, right? Is this going to be 3-2? Is it going to be 5-2? How is Madrid going to finish this off? It was Mortal Kombat. It was like finish him. That's what that was like.
I also really enjoyed the broadcast. That was like Ray Hudson gave him all the material in the world to get his groans and orgasmic cries and his I don't know if you call them analogies or soliloquies. But it reminded me of like the old
I love a good
Messi
Ray.
He just had a full plate to work with
I love
there.
a good Ray analogy. He's been doing it for so long. You think you can't be surprised. You think that you've heard them all, and maybe he's used this one before. But he said they're stretched thin like spandex on South Beach, and I was like, oh God, what are we doing here? Okay, Ray, who is one of my favorite people. I don't know him a lot, but when I do radio, sometimes I get to interact with Ray Hudson. It's been a joy. Just a little bit of a story and aside. When Diego Maradona died, when he passed away, sort of suddenly, right? We was awfully young for passing away, even if we understood he had lots of issues. I was doing the radio, and they asked me, "Hey, can you kind of be the guy who leads the coverage of the passing of an absolute legend, maybe the best player that some people have ever seen?" And I don't want to get into debates, but he might still be on that list at number one for some people. And Ray Hudson came on the radio and cried. He cried about Diego Maradona dying, right? And there was no fake, no artifice about it. That was how Ray Hudson felt about Diego Maradona. Maybe not as a person, and I don't know how much interaction Ray had with Maradona as when they were younger, but certainly as a player and what Maradona could do with the ball and how much passion Ray Hudson has for the game. So it was, Ray Hudson's a treasure.
He definitely respects the art, and he considers these masters of the game true artists, and that's clear. My favorite pull of the game was Vinny's finishing is smoother than the back of his spoon.
That's pretty smooth.
I enjoyed.
Smooth. Yeah.